Kate Foster woke suddenly, her body aching. She blinked against the harsh, bright sun, feeling dizzy. Memories came rushing back, alarms blaring, the control panel flashing red, the sharp, terrifying fall through the atmosphere. Her spaceship had crashed. Now, she lay on a strange alien planet. Slowly, Kate sat up and looked around. Everything hurt. She was bruised and cut, but thankfully nothing was broken. The landscape around her was unlike anything she had seen before. Purple rocks stretched in all directions, dotted by strange, twisted plants. The sky was orange, streaked with clouds that looked like smoke. Kate knew she had to move quickly. She stood carefully, taking slow breaths. She checked her suit. It was torn in places but still intact. Her helmet was cracked, but seemed to hold. Cautiously, she began searching for anything useful from the wreckage. As she rummaged through the twisted metal, her heart sank. Her communication device was broken beyond repair. She had no way to call for help. Panic began to rise in her chest, but she pushed it down. She was an astronaut, trained for survival. She would find a way out. Just as Kate grabbed a small knife. From the debris, a sudden noise startled her. She spun around, knife gripped tightly in her hand. Emerging from behind the rocks, tall figures approached. Their skin was deep blue, covered in rough scales, and they had large eyes glowing faintly red. Aliens, clearly hostile, and carrying long spears. Kate raised her hands, trying to show she meant no harm. But the aliens didn't understand or care. They surrounded her swiftly. One of them, larger than the rest, stepped forward. He said something harsh and guttural, pointing toward her knife. Reluctantly, Kate dropped it to the ground. She had no chance to fight. Not now. She was quickly tied with thick, rough ropes, dragged along behind the group. Her captors marched without mercy, pulling her along swiftly, ignoring her struggles. They traveled for hours, across rough terrain. Kate stumbled and fell several times, scraping her knees and hands. Each time, they simply pulled her back up and moved on. Her mouth was dry, and her muscles burned from exhaustion, but she had no choice but to keep going. Finally, they reached a massive structure made of stone and metal. It looked like a stadium or an arena. Kate's heart raced as she was pushed inside. There, thousands of aliens like her captors sat in rows, watching intently. The air was thick with excitement and tension. A booming voice filled the arena, silencing the crowd. Kate was dragged to the center and forced onto her knees. A tall, commanding alien stepped forward. His face was stern, his scales gleaming brighter blue than the others. He began to speak in a deep voice, clearly addressing the crowd. Kate couldn't understand his words, but she felt the meaning. She was their prisoner, their entertainment. She would have to fight, and most likely she would die. Panic surged again. She had never fought before, not like this. But she refused to show fear. Slowly she stood, looking straight at the leader. Defiance burned in her eyes, surprising even herself. The leader noticed her look, pausing slightly. He then gave a cold smile and signaled. Two large gates opened, and from them emerged a huge, terrifying creature. It resembled a giant insect, armored and dangerous. The crowd cheered wildly. Kate swallowed hard, heart pounding. She had no weapons, no plan, nothing but her instincts. She moved backward, circling carefully, eyes locked on the creature. It lunged suddenly, lightning fast. She dove aside at the last moment, barely escaping its sharp claws. The crowd roared, louder, excited by the close call. Kate scrambled, heart racing. She needed a weapon, a strategy, anything. Her eyes landed on a sharp piece of metal lying in the dirt nearby. Desperately, she rolled toward it, grabbing the metal shard as the beast lunged again. She turned quickly, holding it tightly, hoping it would be enough. Her mind raced, adrenaline flooding her body. This was no longer just about survival. This was her chance, her moment to prove herself. She faced the creature head-on, determination taking hold. Whatever happened next, she would face it bravely. Kate stood breathing heavily, gripping the sharp metal shard tightly. Her heart was pounding wildly in her chest. The giant creature paced before her, its eyes locked onto her every move. Sweat dripped down Kate's forehead as she carefully watched its movements, waiting for her chance. The monster lunged again, faster this time, its massive claws reaching for her. Kate jumped to the side, feeling the air rush past her. She stumbled slightly, but quickly regained her footing. This time, she didn't wait. She lunged forward, striking at the creature's exposed side. The shard sank into its flesh, and it let out a loud, furious roar. The crowd was now fully engaged, screaming and cheering, clearly surprised by Kate's unexpected bravery. She could feel their energy, their excitement fueling her. But she had no time to celebrate. The beast was angry, injured, and more dangerous than ever. Kate moved back cautiously, keeping her distance as she studied the creature. Its thick armor protected most of its body, but now she could see the weakness in its side. She needed another opportunity, one clear shot to end this battle. The creature charged once more, driven by fury. Kate dodged, but this time she stumbled and fell. Panic gripped her as she hit the ground hard, scrambling backward as the monster loomed above her. Its massive claws slammed into the ground just inches from her leg, sending dirt flying everywhere. Desperation flooded Kate as she grabbed a handful of dirt and threw it into the creature's glowing eyes. It roared in pain, shaking its massive head and stepping back. This was the chance Kate needed. She leaped to her feet and rushed forward, driving her makeshift weapon deep into the creature's exposed wound with all her strength. A final deafening roar filled the arena as the creature collapsed heavily onto the ground, twitching briefly before falling silent. The crowd erupted, their cheers and cries echoing loudly. Kate stood over her defeated enemy, breathing deeply, exhausted but victorious. Her legs shook, and her body ached from the intense struggle. But she remained standing, defiant and strong. She had survived. She glanced up at the stands, where the aliens stared at her, now with respect rather than disdain. They had clearly not expected her to survive, let alone win. Kate was led away by guards, but this time more gently. They seemed uncertain, wary of the human who had fought so fiercely. She was taken to a small, dimly lit room beneath the arena, where she collapsed onto a rough cot, exhausted. Not long after, the door opened and an alien entered quietly. It was a female, smaller and less intimidating than the warriors. She approached, slowly, carefully, with a curious expression. Her eyes were bright, intelligent, filled with questions. "Human," the alien spoke softly, surprising Kate with her clear voice. "You fought well." "Better than expected." Kate sat up slowly, eyeing her visitor carefully. "Who are you?" "My name is Lyra," the alien said. "I am here to help you understand. You are now important to us." "Important?" Kate asked, confused and cautious. Lyra nodded gently. "Strength and bravery are valued above all here. You show both today." Kate studied Lyra carefully, sensing honesty in her words. "What happens now?" Lyra sighed slightly. "You will fight. Again, they will test you further. But if you keep winning, you will earn freedom and respect." Kate felt determination growing inside her. If fighting was her only path to freedom, she would fight. "I will survive." Lyra smiled softly, respect clear in her expression. "I believe you. Rest now. You will need your strength." As Lyra left, Kate lay back on the cot, her mind racing. She was alone, trapped on an alien planet, forced into combat. But she had won once, proving herself capable. Hope burned inside her. She could do this. She had to. Kate drifted into sleep, dreams filled with battles and strange worlds. She knew her journey was far from over, and the next fight could be her last, but she would face whatever came bravely. She had no other choice. Kate woke early the next day, feeling sore and tired. Her body still ached from the fierce battle, but she felt stronger inside, filled with determination. The small room was quiet, lit softly by the faint morning glow seeping through tiny cracks. In the walls, the door creaked open, and Lyra stepped inside carrying a tray of food and water. Lyra offered a kind smile, placing the tray on a small table beside Kate. "You must eat and regain your strength," Lyra said softly. Kate nodded and ate slowly. The food was strange but filling, tasting sweet yet spicy. Lyra watched her closely, her eyes curious. "Tell me about your world," Lyra said suddenly, leaning forward slightly. "I have never met someone from Earth." Kate paused, surprised by the interest. She swallowed a bite and began to speak. "Earth is beautiful. Blue oceans, green lands, full of different creatures. Humans live in cities and villages, always exploring, always learning." Lyra listened intently, fascinated by every word. Kate described mountains, forests, and vast deserts, feeling a pang of homesickness deep in her chest. She spoke about the stars she had traveled through, the endless darkness filled with bright lights. "Your people sound brave," Lyra finally said. "Explorers and adventurers. Perhaps this is why you fight so well." Kate smiled softly. "We fight when we must, but mostly, we try to live in peace." Lyra nodded thoughtfully, standing up slowly. "Today, you will fight again. The crowd expects much. Your victory yesterday shocked many. Who will I face this time?" Kate asked, anxiety building inside her. "A warrior named Rax," Lyra replied, her voice serious. "He is powerful, undefeated. But remember, you have shown strength already." Kate felt fear creeping back, but pushed it away. "I will be ready." Lyra placed a reassuring hand on Kate's shoulder before leaving. Alone once more, Kate took slow, deep breaths. She knew she had to stay calm and think clearly. Soon after, guards came and led her back to the arena. This time, the crowd's roar was louder, filled with excitement and anticipation. The arena seemed larger, more intimidating now. Kate stepped into the center, heart pounding. As the gates opened again, Rax entered, taller and stronger than any warrior she had seen yet. His eyes were cold, his muscles huge and powerful. The crowd chanted his name, their voices echoing around her. Kate took a deep breath, remembering Lyra's words. She needed to focus, to stay strong. Rax circled slowly, studying her. Kate mirrored his movements, watching carefully for any sign of weakness or hesitation. Rax charged suddenly, his massive fist swinging toward her. Kate dodged swiftly, barely avoiding the blow. He moved fast, relentless in his attacks. Kate jumped back, her mind racing for a strategy. She noticed that Rax was strong but heavy, slower to recover after each powerful strike. She used this knowledge, baiting him into exhausting swings, stepping aside each time. Gradually, she saw him growing tired, frustration evident in his face. Then Kate saw her chance. As Rax lunged forward again, she ducked beneath his strike and swiftly kicked his legs from under him. The giant warrior crashed onto the ground. Stunned and furious, Kate seized the moment, leaping onto his back, wrapping her arms around his thick neck tightly. Rax struggled fiercely, trying to throw her off, but Kate held on with determination, refusing to let go. Seconds felt like hours as the struggle continued. Finally, Rax's movement slowed, and he sank to the ground defeated. The crowd went silent, shocked by the outcome. Then slowly, cheers erupted, growing louder and louder. Kate stood up, breathing hard, feeling victorious yet humbled. She had survived again, proving herself even further. Guards approached, respectful and cautious, guiding her away gently this time. Back in her room, Lyra came quickly, smiling warmly. "You did well, Kate. Very well. Now they will see your true strength." Kate smiled back, exhaustion washing over her. "I had no choice." "We always have choices," Lyra replied gently. "You chose to fight with courage. That is important." Kate lay back, eyes heavy with fatigue, but feeling stronger than ever. Each battle tested her, teaching her about herself. She knew more fights awaited, each harder than before. Yet somehow, she felt ready. As sleep overtook her, Kate realized she was changing, becoming someone stronger, braver. Her journey was not just about survival anymore. It was about proving that humans were strong, capable, and resilient, even in the harshest worlds. Kate woke up feeling stronger than before. The sun shone gently into the room, making patterns on the wall. Lyra soon arrived, smiling softly as always, bringing her more strange but filling food. "Today," Lyra said gently, "the elders wish to meet you. They have been impressed by your strength and courage." Kate felt nervous but nodded bravely. She ate quickly, feeling energy building inside her. Soon, Lyra led her down a long hall to a large room with high ceilings. 5 aliens, dressed in long robes, sat silently at a table, watching her closely. The oldest, named Tehran, spoke first. "Kate Foster, you have surprised us greatly. You have shown skill and bravery, qualities we deeply admire." "Thank you," Kate replied. Her voice steadied despite her nerves. Tehran continued. "However, General Tarek sees you as a threat. He will challenge you greatly. Be ready for more difficult battles." Kate nodded again, determination clear in her eyes. "I will face whatever comes." The elders seemed pleased. Tehran stood slowly. "We admire your spirit. Remember, you fight for your freedom and respect." After the meeting, Lyra took Kate to a large training room. The room was filled with weapons and training gear. Warriors trained fiercely, their movements quick and powerful. "You must learn our ways if you are to survive," Lyra said, handing Kate a sword-like weapon. "I will teach you." Kate practiced tirelessly, learning quickly. She moved with new confidence, her body growing stronger with each day. Lyra taught her not just to fight, but to think clearly, to use strategy and patience. Days turned into weeks, and Kate improved steadily. Each battle she faced in the arena grew tougher, yet she continued to win. The crowd's cheers for her grew louder, and soon she became famous among the Zidarians. One evening, after training, Lyra came to her with a serious expression. "Kate, General Tarek has arranged a dangerous match. You must face 2 warriors at once tomorrow." Kate took a deep breath, feeling fear stir inside her, but she refused to show it. "I will be ready," she promised. The next morning, the arena was filled more than ever before. The crowd roared, excitement thick in the air. Kate stood in the center, holding her sword tightly. Opposite her, 2 fierce warriors waited, their faces cold and determined. As the fight began, Kate moved quickly, staying alert. The warriors attacked together, trying to overwhelm her. She dodged swiftly, remembering Lyra's teachings, waiting for her chance. The battle was intense, each moment filled with danger. Finally, Kate saw an opening. She moved quickly, disarming one warrior with a sharp strike. The second warrior rushed her furious. Kate moved back carefully, luring him into making a mistake. As he lunged wildly, she sidestepped, knocking him down sharply. The crowd erupted with cheers, chanting her name. Kate stood, breathing deeply, victorious again. She felt exhausted yet powerful. She had faced incredible odds and won. That evening, Lyra came to her room, smiling proudly. "You were incredible. The crowd believes you are special, almost sacred." Kate shook her head modestly. "I only did what I had to." Lyra smiled gently. "Your strength and spirit inspire everyone here. Even warriors speak of you with respect." Suddenly, the door opened sharply. General Tarek stood there, anger clear in his eyes. "Enjoy your victories, human. Soon you will fall." Kate faced him calmly. "I will fight as long as I must." Tarek laughed bitterly, his voice cold. "Your bravery won't save you next time." Then he turned and stormed away. Lyra placed a comforting hand on Kate's shoulder. "Do not let his words worry you. He fears you. That is why he challenges you? Kate nodded slowly, feeling determination burn brighter within her. She knew Tarek wanted her to fail, but she refused to let him break her spirit. As she lay down that night, her mind filled with thoughts. She was no longer fighting just for survival. She was fighting for respect, for dignity, and for the chance to prove that humans were powerful and worthy. Kate knew the battles ahead would be tougher than ever. Yet she felt ready. She had grown stronger, wiser, and braver. Each fight taught her more about herself, pushing her to become something greater. Sleep came quickly, filled with dreams of victory and freedom. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. But Kate felt no fear. She knew she could face anything now. She was ready to prove her worth, ready to rise even higher. Kate woke up feeling stronger than before. The sun shone gently into the room, making patterns on the wall. Lyra soon arrived, smiling softly as always, bringing her more strange but filling food. "Today," Lyra said gently, "the elders wish to meet you. They have been impressed by your strength and courage." Kate felt nervous but nodded bravely. She ate quickly, feeling energy building inside her. Soon, Lyra led her down a long hall to a large room with high ceilings. 5 aliens, dressed in long robes, sat silently at a table, watching her closely. The oldest, named Tehran, spoke first. "Kate Foster, you have surprised us greatly. You have shown skill and bravery, qualities we deeply admire." "Thank you," Kate replied, her voice steady despite her nerves. Tehran continued, "However, General Tarek sees you as a threat. He will challenge you greatly. Be ready for more difficult battles." Kate nodded again, determination clear in her eyes. "I will face whatever comes." The elders seemed pleased. Tehran stood slowly. "We admire your spirit. Remember, you fight for your freedom and respect." After the meeting, Lyra took Kate to a large training room. The room was filled with weapons and training gear. Warriors trained fiercely, their movements quick and powerful. "You must learn our ways if you are to survive," Lyra said, handing Kate a sword-like weapon. "I will teach you." Kate practiced tirelessly, learning quickly. She moved with new confidence, her body growing stronger with each day. Lyra taught her not just to fight, but to think clearly, to use strategy and patience. Days turned into weeks, and Kate improved steadily. Each battle she faced in the arena grew tougher, yet she continued to win. The crowd's cheers for her grew louder, and soon she became famous among the Zidarians. One evening, after training, Lyra came to her with a serious expression. "Kate, General Tarek has arranged a dangerous match. You must face 2 warriors at once tomorrow." Kate took a deep breath, feeling fear stir inside her, but she refused to show it. "I will be ready," she promised. The next morning, the arena was filled more than ever before. The crowd roared, excitement thick in the air. Kate stood in the center, holding her sword tightly. Opposite her, 2 fierce warriors waited, their faces cold and determined. As the fight began, Kate moved quickly, staying alert. The warriors attacked together, trying to overwhelm her. She dodged swiftly, remembering Lyra's teachings, waiting for her chance. The battle was intense, each moment filled with danger. Finally, Kate saw an opening. She moved quickly, disarming one warrior with a sharp strike. The second warrior rushed her, furious. Kate moved back carefully, luring him into making a mistake. As he lunged wildly, she sidestepped, knocking him down sharply. The crowd erupted with cheers, chanting her name. Kate stood, breathing deeply, victorious again. She felt exhausted yet powerful. She had faced incredible odds and won. That evening, Lyra came to her room, smiling proudly. "You were incredible. The crowd believes you are special, almost sacred." Kate shook her head modestly. "I only did what I had to." Lyra smiled gently. "Your strength and spirit inspire everyone here. Even warriors speak of you with respect." Suddenly, the door opened sharply. General Tarek stood there, anger clear in. His eyes. Enjoy your victories, human. Soon you will fall. Kate faced him calmly. I will fight as long as I must. Tarek laughed bitterly, his voice cold. Your bravery won't save you next time. Then he turned and stormed away. Lyra placed a comforting hand on Kate's shoulder. Do not let his words worry you. He fears you. That is why he challenges you. Kate nodded slowly, feeling determination burn brighter within her. She knew Tarek wanted her to fail. But she refused to let him break her spirit. As she lay down that night, her mind filled with thoughts. She was no longer fighting just for survival. She was fighting for respect, for dignity, and for the chance to prove that humans were powerful and worthy. Kate knew the battles ahead would be tougher than ever. Yet she felt ready. She had grown stronger, wiser, and braver. Each fight taught her more about herself, pushing her to become something greater. Sleep came quickly, filled with dreams of victory and freedom. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. But Kate felt no fear. She knew she could face anything now. She was ready to prove her worth, ready to rise even higher. Kate woke early, her mind clear and ready. Sunlight streamed gently into her room, bringing warmth. Lyra soon arrived, looking proud yet concerned. Kate, something has changed, Lyra said softly. Many people now see you as more than just a fighter. They think you have a special destiny. Kate felt a strange mix of pride and worry. What does this mean for me? Lyra sighed. You have become a symbol. Some think you have divine strength. This belief is spreading. Kate sat quietly, considering these words. She didn't want power, only freedom and respect. But she understood she had touched something deeper in the Zidarian people. Today there will be a special gathering, Lyra continued. The elders and the people want to honor you. Later, Kate walked out to a wide-open space surrounded by thousands of Zidarians. Their eyes were filled with admiration. Elder Turan stepped forward and raised his voice so everyone could hear. Kate Foster, you have shown us what true bravery and strength mean. You defeated our best warriors and did so with honor and compassion. Today we honor you not only as a warrior, but as someone special, one who inspires all of us. The crowd cheered loudly, their voices rising as one. Kate felt humbled by their respect. She stepped forward, speaking clearly but gently. I came here as a stranger, forced to fight. But in fighting, I learned about your people. You value strength, courage, and honor, things I believe deeply in. I am proud to have earned your respect. Cheers filled the air again, louder this time. But suddenly, an angry voice interrupted. Enough! General Tarek shouted, stepping forward. From the crowd, she is no goddess. She is just a human, weak and mortal. Kate faced him calmly, speaking gently. I never claimed to be more than human, Tarek. But humans can be strong, brave, and honorable. Tarek's eyes flashed angrily. You fool them with your words, but I challenge you again. This time, no mercy. The crowd fell silent. Elder Turan looked worried. Kate, you don't have to accept. But Kate shook her head gently. I must face this. To prove my truth, I must fight again. The arena was prepared quickly, the crowd tense and quiet. Kate stood ready, her weapon firm in hand. Tarek entered, anger clear in his every move. He attacked fiercely, his strikes fast and powerful. Kate stayed calm, defending herself carefully. Tarek fought harder than before, his anger fueling every strike. Kate watched patiently, waiting for her moment. Finally, Tarek stumbled again, letting anger guide him into mistakes. Kate acted swiftly, knocking his sword aside and pinning him firmly to the ground. The crowd waited breathlessly, expecting the worst. But Kate stepped back, letting Tarek rise again. Why won't you finish me? Tarek shouted angrily, breathing heavily. Kate spoke clearly, her voice calm and strong. Because true strength comes from mercy and honor, not violence. I will not kill out of anger. Tarek stared at her, confused yet thoughtful. Slowly, his anger faded, replaced by respect. He bowed his head slightly, acknowledging her strength. The crowd erupted again, cheering louder than ever. They chanted her name, now seeing her wisdom clearly. Kate stood proudly, feeling deep satisfaction in her heart. That evening, Lyra came to her room, smiling warmly. "You have truly become something special, Kate. You have changed hearts and minds." Kate felt tired but fulfilled. "I only showed them what strength really means." Lyra nodded gently. "You have given them hope. You have shown them a new way." Kate lay awake that night, thinking about all she had been through. She had started as a captive, fighting to survive. Now she stood as a symbol of courage and honor, respected by an entire people. But she also knew her journey was not over. She had responsibilities now, duties that came with respect. She would guide the Zidarians towards a better future, showing them that strength did not always mean violence. Sleep finally came, filled with dreams of peace and freedom. Kate knew the battle she faced had changed her deeply, making her stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but she was ready, confident that she had found her true purpose. Kate stood in the quiet morning light, reflecting deeply. The journey had changed her more than she ever imagined. Once a captive fighting merely to survive, she now found herself a respected leader, a figure of hope among the Zidarians. Lyra joined her, sensing Kate's thoughtful mood. "You have come so far," Lyra said softly. "Your presence here has brought us strength and hope." Kate smiled gently. "And yet I am still human, with doubts and fears." "That is what makes you special," Lyra replied warmly. "You have shown us how strength comes from within, from facing fear with courage." Kate nodded slowly, feeling grateful for Lyra's friendship and guidance. "But now what happens?" Lyra's expression became serious. "Your people have found you, Kate. They are sending a ship." Kate felt her heart leap with joy, then sink with sadness. The thought of home filled her with longing, but leaving Zadaria would mean leaving behind those who depended on her now. "When do they arrive?" Kate asked softly. "Tomorrow," Lyra replied, her eyes filled with understanding. "You must decide your path." That night, the Zidarians held a gathering to honor Kate. They spoke of her bravery, her compassion, and the new ideas she had brought to their world. Kate stood before them, her heart heavy yet proud. "I came here unwillingly," she said clearly, "but I found courage and strength in your culture. You taught me much about honor and resilience." The crowd listened quietly, sensing her emotion. "Tomorrow, a ship from Earth arrives," Kate continued. "I have the choice to return home, but leaving here will not be easy." Murmurs spread through the crowd. Elder Turan stepped forward gently. "Kate, you will always have a home here, in our hearts. You are a part of us now." Kate felt tears sting her eyes but kept her voice steady. "Thank you for accepting me, for teaching me. Whatever my choice, your strength will always guide me." The next morning came swiftly, bright and clear. Kate waited in the arena, now filled with Zidarians who gathered respectfully. Soon, the sky filled with a gentle hum, and a sleek ship slowly landed nearby. A door opened, and humans stepped out cautiously, their eyes wide with surprise at the gathering. A man approached, introducing himself as Captain Daniel. "Kate Foster, we've come to bring you home." Kate felt her emotions swirl inside. She stepped forward, greeting them warmly, but explained her situation clearly. "Captain Daniel, these people have become family to me," Kate explained gently. "I have responsibilities here. They see me as a leader." Captain Daniel nodded thoughtfully, understanding in his eyes. "It's your choice, Kate. Earth is proud of you, whatever you decide." Kate turned back to the gathered Zidarians, her heart heavy but clear. "My home is Earth, and it will always be a part of me. But here, I've found something unique, a chance to make a real difference." Lyra stepped forward, her voice soft but strong. "You have taught us to look beyond strength in battle. You have taught us the power of compassion and wisdom. If you stay, we can learn even more." Kate felt peace fill her heart, realizing her true purpose. She turned back to Captain Daniel, smiling gently. "Tell Earth I'm proud to represent humanity. Here, tell them I found my place." Captain Daniel smiled back warmly. "Earth understands, Kate. We'll stay in contact." The ship departed slowly, leaving the Zidarians cheering loudly, embracing their newfound leader and friend. Kate stood tall, feeling a powerful sense of belonging. Days passed into weeks, and Kate worked tirelessly alongside Lyra and the elders. They improved the lives of many, teaching new ideas of compassion and unity. Zedaria began to change, becoming a more peaceful and hopeful world. Kate often looked up at the stars, thinking of Earth and all she had left behind. But she knew in her heart she had made the right choice. She had arrived as a stranger, fought as a warrior, and now stood as a leader, respected and loved. One evening, Lyra stood with her under the stars. "Do you regret your choice, Kate?" Kate shook her head, smiling softly. "No, I miss Earth, but my heart is here. I have a purpose now, a chance to make things better." Lyra smiled, her eyes glowing warmly. "You truly are special, Kate. You've shown us a new way." Kate felt deep contentment. Her journey had begun with fear and uncertainty, but ended with strength, purpose, and hope. She had found her true place among the stars, forever changed, forever remembered as the human who became their inspiration and their hope.